Here we are.
Yes, sir.
If people only knew the quick pre-show chats.
There's always a little something.
There's always a little something. Yeah.
Always a little something in there.
The pre-filter.
Yeah.
Had to be there.
That's what we should paywall.
Yeah.
The pre-filter. That's
Yes,
where the
if you,
real money
If you
is.
pay a certain amount, you can be on our scheduling emails as
Yes.
You can chime in with your own personal conflicts once
There you
per
go.
month.
well. Yeah, that'd be good. CJ saying, sorry, I'll be in some southern state.
Yes, in a hotel. I don't know how the Wi-Fi is gonna be. Yeah.
Oh, do you think the Mets get eliminated today?
Well, they can't get. Can they get eliminated today? I don't think they can.
Are
Can
they
they?
tied right now?
If they lose, if they lose and the Reds win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
the Reds have
are
to win
tied.
and they have to lose. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because that helps us in two ways. One, the Reds winning could get us the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to get my hopes up too much because the Brewers are good and the odds of
Sure.
yeah. But I would love to see the Mets out of it. But then, will this be clipped and sent to me as we're down 2-1 to the Reds in the NLDS? Maybe.
Entirely possible. I'm
Yeah.
just separating.
I'm glad,
idea
by the way,
like,
that the Diamondbacks are out of it as well. I don't want to play Arizona. So
I
they're gone.
wouldn't mind the redemption,
They
but
stunk out there this year too.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But I guess, yeah, not knowing and not having faith really in anything, I've become like, well, at least like a short plane ride or a short
Yes.
bus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
that's fine. Travel days. That's great.
Yeah.
That's way
Yeah.
easier. It is crazy. We don't talk about it enough. Like how much flying around professional athletes do and then
Oh,
have
yeah.
to play immediately after.
Well, and even they're flying in a different. Like, it's way nicer than how we fly,
You don't know.
but
how
it's
I
still
fly.
flying.
I could
What's
fly
that?
really. I could fly really nice.
You
don't know.
well, probably
wouldn't.
you're probably not on a private plane.
That's your assumption.
Yeah.
Have you flown on those like short
The
charter
paper mic
LA
it's different.
charters?
No.
Like to like Vegas or any like close by
I almost
destinations?
did. Alyssa did for her bachelorette party.
That's pretty common out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that much more if you like book it pretty far in advance. We've booked it for like former bosses like back in the day, but no, never. But one day, then I'm going to travel real
One day.
good.
Yeah. All right. Ready
All right.
to do the show?
All right, go
The
Phil.
travel pod, the flying pod. All right. On the show today, the Quentin Grimes situation gets a little messier, as is the Sixers' way. Some good news on Jared McCain's injury, but he is injured since the last time we talked about it. So,
Good news, he's injured.
yeah. Well, look, man. Anytime I see a 4-6, I'm optimistic. Well, I guess I should be pessimistic. And Joel Embiid, speaking of injured, is checking boxes all according to the plan. Here we are back, baby. August has never been so over. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. Sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS and brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP at mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Adam Ksebe, Ksebe, the official realtor of the process, 302-864-8643. LL Pavorsky Jewelers, where Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners go and get engaged. And Surfside, iced tea and vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. Bark in the Park is 2 weeks away. We have raised $14,116 for Providence Animal Center. Would like for you to be a part of it. Our goal is to raise $20,000. You could donate just by going to the link in the pod. And I know I said I wanted you to join the team earlier to get the shirt, but I ordered some extras. So if you join the team and you raise at least $50, you get the shirt designed by Olivia Smith. Hope to see you there. Rose Tree Park, October 11th. Thank you to our sponsors of the team, MortgageCS, LL Pavorsky Jewelers, Scheib Vintage Sports, our friends at Surfside, and Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Fly the Process is going to New Orleans this year, the big Queasy, as we call it, February 20th to 23rd, 2026. It's going to be a great time. If you've never been to New Orleans, what a place beyond what you see. Forget about like Bourbon Street and that sort of stuff you see on TV. I mean, it's cool. You would visit it, but New Orleans is a very cool, very spooky city, very good food town as well. Be there Friday to Monday. We would love to see you there. We go with fans of Philly every year. You get your tickets to the game, flights, airport transfers, hotel, pregame party, t-shirt, all kind. We'll take a picture, you know, on the court afterwards. All sorts of fun bullshit we're going to do. You only need $150 to reserve your spot, and then you can pay it off over time. If you need just go to rightsrickysanchez.com/fly to book your spot. If you need a special package, maybe you already live in New Orleans, you just want game and party, maybe you're flying from somewhere else, email joe@fansofphilly.com. Again, that's rightsrickysanchez.com/fly. Surfside iced tea and vodka. I'm excited. On Friday will be the first time that I am in Stateside Live, the former Xfinity Live. I don't know what I expect to be different, but it is pretty cool that our buddies in Surfside/Stateside are there on the big sign there. I mean, there's a lot of people don't even know that Stateside owns Surfside, and it's Stateside Vodka in Surfside. So that'll be fun. I think it's weird, but you should know because Surfside Vodka is Stateside Vodka is the best. You know, Surfsides only have 2 grams of sugar. They only have 100 calories. Taste amazing. Our fridge downstairs is stacked. Val loves the strawberry lemonade and vodka. I'm an iced tea lemonade and vodka. Pick out your favorite. Doesn't really matter. I don't care as long as you're drinking it. If you can't find it, wherever you get your canned cocktails, you can go to drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21 and please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who isn't the negotiation guy in really any sort of position. That is one Mike Levin.
Sadly not. Wish I was.
What's that?
I said wish I was, but
Yeah.
sadly not a skill that I have. I'm currently negotiating in the Execs Fantasy Basketball League, and I'm not even trying to do it. I'm just like, this is what I need to make this trade happen, and you decide if you want to do it or not.
That's a style of negotiating, though.
Oh, now that's my style.
Yep.
That's become my style.
Yep. I when I had to negotiate contracts, that's how I would sort of do it. I would just go, this is it. It makes things easier. I was going to intro you as a guy that has not been named in the Jeffrey Epstein files at any point, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I guess that's fair, but this is why I'm not rich. This is the only reason.
Yep. It is it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Not a lot of working class folks there.
No. Could you imagine waking up one day and you're just you've lived your life. You were never on the plane, never on the island. And you see a tweet that's like, Mike Levin was invited to this party. We haven't heard his response yet. He got 500 text messages.
That would suck. That would be surprising, man. And that would suck.
Yeah. All right.
But alas.
So
may as well just say it now. May as well just say it now, and then we could just not say it the rest of the time.
Yes.
Go for it.
What? Oh, the Josh Harris thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Josh Harris, there was the other Epstein papers that came out, and Josh Harris, his name was in it as somebody who was invited to a breakfast, but had not yet replied. So
not what you want.
No, but you don't want to look. I don't know. I have no idea. You don't want to every time there's a name in there, somebody says, that person's in the Epstein files, but that's not really what people are looking for. So I have no idea what Josh Harris did. It said he didn't reply. His old business partner, Leon Black, who they were head of Apollo, which is a hedge fund or whatever. They and Josh Harris left there, I think, in 22 after a sort of a power struggle with Leon Black. Leon Black has been very much tied to Epstein, but Josh Harris not so much. So this is not an Epstein pod.
It's just, it was all I'll say is,
Yeah.
if there's a big national story, scandal, anything fucked up, it's only a matter of time before the Sixers get there.
Yes, of course. I'm just waiting on everything else, honestly,
And
to be quite honest with you.
There we are.
Yep. All right, we're going to move past that.
We'll put that right there.
Look, it is what it is, whatever.
Place it there, and that's that. And that's
Yes.
where it'll be.
It actually reminded me when I was in college at Syracuse. They used to promote these big parties at these local clubs.
Yeah, at a big island.
And no, Syracuse, not an island, landlocked actually. Oh, actually, there's a lake sort of close. But in any case, they would always used to do this thing on the flyers, invited guests. And they would put famous people there or athletes from Syracuse, invited guests, which does not necessarily mean that they're coming.
Yeah.
Just means that they're invited.
Pretty cool.
So, all right. Start with Jared McCain because it has been, we'll get to the Quentin Grimes thing is super interesting. I think, though, we should mention the McCain thing first because it at least has something to do with the Grimes thing at some point.
Yeah.
So the other day, the day before media day, Thursday, we get the news that Jared McCain had torn the UCL in his thumb.
Yeah.
Which was the most horrible tweet to say. We have Sheil Kapadi on the show every week to talk about the Eagles, and Sheil was on when I discovered it. And it's just the first 4 minutes where, can you believe fucking Jared McCain? But
poor guy.
The news is better than could have been expected. It could have been up to 3 months. Chase Utley missed 2 months when he had a torn UCL, but they said he's going to have surgery and it's 4 to 6 weeks. And I think you could make the argument that this is not a great time for it to happen, as they're all going to play together for the first time. But you could also make the argument it'd rather happen now than in the end of the season or anything like that. So he could theoretically be back by the second week of the season. So that's good news.
Yeah. Hopefully, get it fully healed. I don't want it to be a mallet finger situation where by the end of the year we go McCain was playing with a thumb that only had one vein left. It was hanging by a thread.
Yeah, get it.
I don't want to know that.
Get it fixed.
Get it fixed. Get it right. Long career. Bum for the kid. I would be, if I'm him, I'd be happy to not go on this long trip to Abu Dhabi. I would use this as an excuse to be I'm gonna stay home. Actually, I'm gonna chill here. But yeah, bummer. But
he was the guy. I mean, he's the guy I'm most excited to watch this year.
I think that's totally fair.
Is Jared McCain. So it was kind of a bummer. Now, look, we have other guys we're excited to watch. Excited to see Maxey. We'll get VJ Edgecombe, of course. But that flash we got of McCain, I was just excited to see what his role would be and what he looked like in the context of a real team.
Yeah, if he misses a week or two, then that is totally fine. That's great.
Yep.
This is, par for the course.
Yes.
This is going to keep happening to the Sixers.
Yes.
If this is the one, then that's fine. It's there's table stakes.
Oh,
sure.
It's
the Sixers are big blind,
and
and big blind is you must give someone to us, the gods of injury basketball. So McCain's thumb is big blind, and hopefully that's that.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sure that'll just be that.
That's got to be that.
Sure. Yeah.
It's got to be it.
Yeah. That's definitely what it is. So I think if we assume, and we'll get to this in a second, we assume Quentin Grimes is on the Sixers, it just means I think that Edgecombe starts, right? I mean, do we do a Maxey, Edgecombe, Grimes, George, Embiid thing, or do they start Oubre and bring Grimes or Edgecombe off the bench?
I definitely don't think they're going to start Edgecombe. I would be very, very, very surprised. I would probably say, we'll see what the Grimes situation is. You assume he will be there.
Yes.
Although I guess there's some chance that he's not.
Yeah, very small, I think.
Say he's there.
Yeah.
I would say it's Maxey, Grimes, George, and then either
Watford
or Oubre would be my guess.
All right. So
I don't think McCain was going to start coming in. I would have been surprised if I think I would have been surprised too. Maxey, McCain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I would have been surprised if McCain or Edge, one of the two was not in the starting lineup.
I know.
Really?
I'm assuming that it's Maxey, Grimes, George,
Okay.
and then one
X.
of Oubre or Watford.
Okay.
That'll be
That's
my
interesting.
guess. So I wouldn't hate it if McCain or Grimes was starting, but I guess I would just be surprised by it. That feels like a come off the bench, get some youth and different kind of play style.
Yeah. The Rice to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by MortgageCS. Boy, we got this great email from Tommy, longtime Ricky listener, about MortgageCS. Hi, Spike, Mike, and CJ. We are under contract for our first house to close in a few weeks in Exton, and just wanted to shout out MortgageCS. We have slowly been house hunting since February, and Alec and Ben were helpful and responsive, but never pushy. The approval process was a breeze, and they've been super helpful as we move toward closing. Our realtor called me about some stuff and said, man, the broker guys you're using are awesome. They're all over everything.
You love to hear that.
Yes. And
You
by the way,
love to hear that because so many people in this process and any process are just going to disappoint you.
yes.
And
they
you're going to
do
be
not.
like, hey, aren't you supposed to be, shouldn't someone, I don't know what this is. Shouldn't
Yes.
you?
Yes.
And
this is what,
to hear
this is-
somebody be like, hey, not only is this guy good and I feel it, so other people involved in the process are talking about how good that person is and that company is. That's what you want.
Yep, 100%. Even in my house selling up in North Jersey and house buying here in South Jersey, both said the same thing. Couldn't believe that MortgageCS is so responsive. And they work with all kinds of mortgage brokers. Tommy says, thanks to the whole MortgageCS team and to the Ricky for helping me make the two largest purchases of my entire life, the home and the engagement ring with LL. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. But what you should do is start with MortgageCS. So and I would say earlier than you even think. Look, it's never too late to get, even if you're working with somebody else, even if you're getting down to the nitty gritty time with buying the house, never too late to reach out to them. But if you start with them even earlier, months before even you start looking for a house, they can, first of all, you can build up that rhythm with them and that communication. You can see what they're all about, but also you can get them all of the documentation they're going to need to be able to help you as quickly as you're going to need to when you're going to make a bid on a house. So start with them. That way, the whole process isn't confused. When you end up with your realtor, you end up buy a house, you say you already have your mortgage broker, and MortgageCS can be that. They are, and the other thing, by the way, everybody's waiting all the time about how the market's going to change or whether rates are going to go down or up. Truthfully, nobody knows. Even if they lower interest rates, the Fed lowers interest rates, doesn't mean that interest rates on your mortgage are going to go down anyway. So what you do, just work with MortgageCS. If they lower interest rates, you can refinance at some point. They are available whenever you need them, truly. Their whole team, amazing. This is Ben, the CEO's cell phone number, 267-391-7425. That is 267-391-7425. You could also go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky to schedule a consultation. If you don't believe me, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, you can look at all the amazing Google 5-star reviews. Love MortgageCS. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. All right, on to Quentin Grimes. So he remains unsigned through media day, but it's gotten noisier in recent days. Some numbers have come out as Quentin Grimes' agent has sort of gone public with a couple of people, and we'll get to Sixers Adam, who has a bunch of quotes from him in a second. And then the Sixers have responded to what his agent has said. So I think the best thing to do is really, rather than recapping it, just read some of this stuff from Sixers Adam's piece, which is at the Philly Voice. Yeah. And then Jake Fisher has a little bit. What's that? Say.
Great piece from Sixers Adam.
Great piece. And then Jake Fisher, who is at Mark Stein's Substack, has a couple of specifics as to what Grimes is looking for. So, quote, "This is not Quentin being unreasonable," Bauman said, who is his agent. "This is just the Sixers not negotiating with us in any way, shape, or form." Bauman confirmed to Philly Voice that he proposed extending the deadline for Grimes to pick up the qualifying offer to October 8th, giving the sides an extra week to find common ground, as The Athletic reported earlier this week. A Sixers source said Friday that the team will decline that request, which it sees as one-sided. Another point of contention, did the Sixers make a 4-year, $39 million offer to Grimes on Monday? Baumann first told the Philadelphia Inquirer on Thursday afternoon that the team had presented the offer to Grimes, which the Sixers immediately refuted. At first, a semantics debate ensued about formal offers versus informal offers.
That's worthwhile. That's good for everybody's time.
Yep.
Debating semantics.
Yes, as to whether it was an offer or wasn't an offer. A Sixers source claims the team's number-centric discussions with Grimes have only revolved around potential ranges on different contract lengths and structures. Baumann has continually affirmed to reporters the $39 million offer was made, while the Sixers have strenuously denied it.
Yeah.
Sixer sources have grown increasingly adamant over the last 2 days. Not only did the team never make the $39 million offer, but it was never broached in any capacity, formal or informal, direct or indirect. Speaking to Philly Voice, Baumann gave a detailed account of a conversation he says took place between himself and Morey on Monday. Grimes' agent maintains that this discussion led to figures being introduced. In Baumann's description, Morey told him to implement the exact qualifying offer figure of just over $8.7 million as a starting salary, go out 4 years with maximum annual raises of 8%, and then, quote, do the math. The math adds up to about 4 years and $39 million. There's no other conclusion, Baumann said, other than they wanted him to take the qualifying offer. This is not how the Sixers have characterized their outlook of the situation, though they are not discussing the qualifying offer. They are not discussing the qualifying offer as some sort of worst-case scenario that is largely perceived publicly. They still assert that their preferred outcome in all of this is coming to terms with Grimes on a long-term pact, but have not expressed any hope that that is a realistic goal. Baumann places the blame for that on the team. Quote, the ball is in their court. The ball has been in their court all summer long, and they haven't attempted in any way to be serious.
Yeah. So there's a ton of angles to this. We talked about some of them last time, but I think that's the key point: is that the Sixers don't look at Grimes taking the qualifying offer
as a bad thing
and playing this year under $8.7 million as a bad thing. They don't think it's bad.
Well, either they don't. Oh, hold on. I just want to. So if one of the two of us is negotiation guy, by default, I guess I am. So what I would say is the Sixers certainly do not want the agent to perceive that it is a bad thing. Because so to me, Grimes' agent feels a little bit desperate right now in that he is going to the press, he is asking for an extension, he is in a position where he doesn't want to sign the qualifying offer. So the Sixers absolutely don't want him to think that they don't want to sign it, because that is a worst case scenario for the player, and they want the player and the agent to come closer to where they are. So it could be true that they don't look at it as some sort of disaster, that they would rather sign him to a long-term deal. But I would also say, thank you to my dogs, I would also say that from a negotiation standpoint, they also don't want it to seem like it's a bad thing, because they want to feel like they have the upper hand in this as much as possible. And
they do, because this is what restricted free agency does. The player, you know, there's really no one else currently with cap space that they can negotiate with.
Yes.
So it is really, the Sixers are operating as if, hey, we're the only game in town. You have to come way more to our side than we have to come to yours.
Yes.
There's no other people. There's no other negotiators. There's no other offers on the table. The way that I would look at it is that there are. Those negotiators and those other offers are just not happening until next offseason. The actions that the Sixers are taking right now are making it less and less and less likely that Quentin Grimes re-signs here on a long-term deal.
I don't necessarily agree.
So I feel like there is, people disagree, and maybe you're one of them. I think after this situation, if it resolves in, which I believe it will, Grimes just taking the qualifying offer and playing this year under a no trade qualifying offer with a no trade clause, the Sixers, he becomes an unrestricted free agent, and the Sixers can negotiate with him. They can offer him more money because of bird rights than other teams, but not much. I don't think, if I'm Grimes, I'm not signing with the Sixers. I feel like
I disagree is I don't necessarily. I have not given up hope on a long-term deal.
I feel like that would require a level of desperation from Grimes's camp that I don't think that. I think they will take it as insulting. I think they will do a, bet on yourself. I think maybe even McCain's thumb injury factors into that of like, you need us even more now. I understand the thought process of like, and obviously the thought process of why would the Sixers push it back a week, right?
Yes.
They want the deadline is October 1st for a deal to be done.
Yep.
They want
to sign the qualifying offer.
For him to sign the qualifying offer. They want it to be like the most pressure he can feel to say, hey, you're either playing this season and risking any injury or decrease in playing time or whatever, and going into next offseason with no contract, no guaranteed money, or you're signing a significantly below market deal, which is what the Sixers are offering. They are offering a significantly below market deal in my estimation.
Okay, but fair to and just one other thing from the Sixers Adam article, not to read it. The other option here is a qualifying offer and then also a contract more than the qualifying offer, so he waives his no trade clause. The Sixers, per the agent, have not offered very much more because they, to him, do not really see it as a particularly huge advantage to be able to trade him, as even the team that's trading him doesn't get full bird rights. So even if they're trading for him, they can't offer him some sort of big contract. And if they want him otherwise, it might even be better to sign him outright.
But the Sixers don't want to trade him.
But hold on. So
that's why it's like, why would they give them more money? Because I don't think they want to trade him. I think they want him to play this season on the qualifying offer.
Yes, I agree. Well, and I just don't think there's much value in trading him is also the point. So this per Jake Fisher, just a couple of lines here. Among the Sixers' options to avoid doing so, which that is having Grimes sign the qualifying offer, is moving either Andre Drummond or Kelly Oubre or both. But team officials have likewise been adamant they were not prepared to attach draft capital to either veteran to push a trade through. They lost Yabusele in that. Just one more note from Jake Fisher here. After Grimes' gaudy production in Mark, Bauman pursued a salary approaching $25 million in annual value. The Sixers' offer, when it finally came, landed just short of $40 million over 4 seasons. $25 million a year is psychotic. So here's the issue, is that from a negotiating standpoint, and just when I'm thinking about it, if the other person is going to be ridiculous and have this very high offer, then even if, let's say, the Sixers were prepared to settle around $14 million, which is totally fair. Yeah. If they come up to 12 and this guy's at 25, then the perceived middle ground is 19. Mm-hmm. They can't even go above 16 and stay under the apron. So 16 would be the second apron. 16 would be their sort of max that they could pay him here. So I guess my point is, I think Grimes is a lot closer to being worth $40 million for 4 years than $100 million over 4 years. So I know that the agent is saying that the Sixers haven't negotiated in good faith. I also don't think asking for $25 million a year is in good faith. And this is why you as the Sixers don't want to make the first offer. And when you're pushed into making an offer, you make an offer that is extra, extra, extra low, because in the let's meet somewhere, you're in just as ridiculous a position as he is. So I think this is bad for both. And I think you said this on the last pod. I don't think this is good for Quentin Grimes. I don't think him signing the qualifying offer is good for him. No. I don't think next summer there's going to be somebody is going to offer Quentin Grimes $20 million a year. It seems insanely unlikely, which is why at the end of it, I am hopeful at least that they don't want to sign the qualifying offer so badly that this ends up with a deal that is not the deal that we're thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, if Grimes has a number in his head and Grimes' agent has a number in his head that is 20 is our low end.
Yes.
Like, we're not going under 20, then I understand why the Sixers wouldn't do that. I mean, you have to consider the second apron. You have to consider, like, the thing that is the biggest factor, I believe, is the Sixers don't know how good they're going to be this season. Yes. They don't know how healthy Joel's going to be, how healthy Paul's going to be, what McCain looks like, etc. They are hedging, I would say, in a real way of, we don't want to sign Quentin to this big contract, regardless of the number, unless it's like super low. Because if shit goes bad, we don't want to be stuck with this either over market or like around mid market contract for Grimes. We would only sign him to this contract if it's very, very favorable to us, because we don't know if he's going to be good. We don't know if the team's going to be good. Sorry. So if the team is,
they also, to a certain extent, don't know how good he's going to be in the role that they want him
that's
to play,
fair.
to a certain extent.
I would basically say they're over-indexing on the worst case scenario. And whether that comes from Darryl or comes from ownership, I think that they're saying they're protecting against a world where the team is bad, Embiid sucks, Paul George is hurt, all that shit. And also Grimes' last year was an anomaly, and he falls back down to being like just a guy, seventh or eighth guy type of player. I think they're over-indexing on that and under-indexing on what is, to me, is a much more likely scenario. Now, we don't know the numbers. It'll ultimately come down to the number. The scenario being Grimes is 25. He plays his ass off on defense. He plays hard on offense. He can shoot off the ball. He can attack a closeout. He's proven that he can hit some shots off the dribble. I feel, maybe I'm more radicalized to this than most, but I feel very confident that one of Maxey, McCain plus Grimes and Edgecombe can be your 1, 2, 3. That I feel very confident that Edgecombe is big and strong enough and is going to be athletic enough to be able to defend threes. I think Grimes is the same thing. And so to me, you're risking Grimes having a good season this year and then deciding, I'm the fourth most important of these guards. This team tried to fuck me over last offseason. I'm going to sign somewhere else. I think that is, you are muddying the well in the future and also putting like a sort of sour pall over the entire thing this season. And it gets into the Darryl, like how much does he factor in like chemistry and player happiness and all that stuff. So it opens the door. That's why it's so interesting to talk about, because it opens the door to a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, I think we'll get to it in a second. Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. Your season, your shot. The NFL is rolling. Nah, that's not how we talk about DraftKings Sportsbook. We love DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Mike, the passing prop for Jalen on Sunday. So Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at Tampa, or nightmare at Tampa. Jalen passing prop is 190 yards. That's the over-under. What do you think?
If there's one thing I'm not going to do, it's bet on the Eagles in Tampa.
That is the fair point. That is a fair point. A.J. Brown receiving yards are 70. I won my first ever big DraftKings same game parlay. I had A.J. over 70. I had Jalen over 190. I had and the Eagles to cover. And I got the cover on the Jordan Davis block field goal.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yes, it was so sweet. Oh, dude, the feeling as he's running. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to cover this. I can't believe I'm going to cover this. It was amazing.
People talk about bad beats, but they don't really talk about, fortunate wins.
Yes, that was mine. I was so excited. You can bet touchdowns, bet passing props, bet receiving props. You could stay away from Eagles in Tampa. That's obviously your option. Mm-hmm. If you are a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus score over $200 in NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Here's what you do. You download DraftKings Sportsbook, the app, and you use code RTRS when you sign up. That is RTRS. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 in NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. See show notes for details. I also, I also think I would probably agree with you that the Sixers are over-indexing on worst-case scenario. It seems like Grimes and his agent are over-indexing on like the one or two people in the NBA that they could pick as comps that are making that sort of money.
Sure.
And also over-indexing on the last, 25 games on it. I think like overall, and even the problem is, let's say if we think that the Sixers max was 13 or 14. 14, I think, remarkably fair as a max.
Yeah.
Even if you go and you offer that,
Sure.
when they're asking for 25, you're fucked anyway because there's no way he's going to take it. So what I hope is at the end of this, qualifying offer has not worked out for really anybody. It really is just Miles Bridges. He's the only one that signed a big contract after the qualifying offer, and there were certainly extenuating circumstances in that let him take the qualifying offer. So
Yeah, the domestic violence accusation.
yes, yeah. So I am just hoping that the fear of the qualifying offer and that the Sixers are, though they are publicly saying they don't care if he signs a qualifying offer, privately are thinking to themselves, we don't want to sign a qualifying offer, and willing to come to the table if they come down off the $25 million. And you always want them to say the number first rather than you saying the number first. So I could imagine the Sixers sort of being pushed into giving a number that is as ridiculously low as their number is ridiculously high, I guess. So I don't think it's good for anybody for him to sign the qualifying offer. I don't think it's good for Quentin Grimes. I don't think it's good for the Sixers. And I hope the deadlines are always good for negotiations. I hope the deadline being on Wednesday just, solves this.
I think the Sixers, I wouldn't want him to sign the qualifying offer. I would rather lock him up, lock this young player up entering his prime that is a really good fit anywhere. And I think has proven to be, now other teams might not think this. He's been on 4 teams, and this is 14 since he was drafted.
Yes.
And that says something about whether the role he's either willing to play or how teams value him or the price that he is asking for. Maybe he's been asking for this kind of price for a long time and other teams have balked at it, and that's why he's on the Sixers. I think that there's a number that allows him to be still tradable if the Sixers are as bad as they worry that things could get. If they're as bad as last year. And in that case, in the case of a repeat of last year, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what they signed it Grimes to. Obviously, if it signs him to 2025, that's too much. But if they sign him to if you're quibbling between 12 to 16, it just doesn't matter. And I also would say last offseason they made the mistakes of giving all these guys player options for the next year, right? And now we're living with the consequences of that. I would rather trade a second round pick or whatever to get off of either Drummond or Oubre to lock up a young, very nice fitting, and nice fitting anywhere, Quentin Grimes. And I would rather do that than risk Grimes walking after this year if he plays.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play. That's my belief in my evaluation of him.
I guess issue would be in that case is if other teams perceive the Sixers as desperate right here, that they're asking for more than some random second round pick, right? Because they know the Sixers are in a bad spot. This is a whole. So this will be resolved one way or another by Wednesday, by October 1st.
This will be the last time we talk about it.
Yes.
The other part of it, there's a million parts, but I think this is the last one I have unless I think of another one, is if he walks, and that means that Oubre and Drummond are also expiring, they then have money to sign someone else or trade for someone else. And at that point, that becomes interesting. Not to say that there couldn't be someone that pops more and maybe is a better fit on as a bigger wing type of player. But when we're talking about it here as this guy's here and you're letting him walk potentially, or which is what happened with Yabusele.
Yep.
It's hard to imagine the hey, we'll have other secret plans behind this door if I guess I'm just the odds to me, the most likely scenario are Grimes plays pretty good. He's not the player he was last year because he's not going to have that many opportunities, and he doesn't fall out of the rotation because he's such a useful player. And then this next offseason, we do the exact same thing we're doing now, except Grimes is you clearly don't give a shit about me, and I'm the 4th most important guard on this team, so I'm going to sign somewhere else that I'll have more of an opportunity to play and less baggage of whatever's going on now. Grimes' agent feeling this disrespected, factors in. And I think Daryl and the Sixers front office kind of goes, if we get to a number that you like it'll all be water under the bridge. And I kind of just don't necessarily agree with that.
Yep, I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. Yeah, I think the agent, when the agent starts publicly attaching his name to this stuff, it feels desperate to me.
Well,
it feels
or
desperate.
it feels like righteously pissed off. Like he didn't say anything for months. There was nothing. There was no reports for months. This was all like they still haven't come together, but I was assuming somebody's on fucking vacation. Everyone was like seeming like, we're gonna.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
it wasn't it. Sadly, we're gonna get there. It's all it'll just going through it, and then all of a sudden it was like wide gap 439, all that stuff, and so you just wish that. This is me as a non-negotiating guy. You just wish that these two sides had come together. Maybe you're right, and the threat of October 1st deadline and Grimes playing this season under a one knee tweak away from being really in a no financial stability and locked into anything place. That would be obviously difficult for him. And I think it puts Nick Nurse in a weird place. I think it puts Grimes in a weird place because it's not just, hey, guys play under the expiring contracts all the time. It's this guy's playing under an expiring contract after the team has shown we don't value you in this kind of way. And so I have to prove this or that I'm worth this or that. And that just is really, I think, detrimental to the team concept. And either Grimes will not be fully on board with the team or Nurse will say we're going to bench you, and then it's just a sour situation all the time. And I think that they don't have any room for more sour things on this team.
Boy, that ain't that the truth. Well, we don't have any option there, really. We're gonna face lots of sour stuff. So media day was yesterday. We will get to it. Well, CJ, is it time? It's definitely time, right? Oh, it's time. Adam Ksebe is the official realtor of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. Here's you, or me, for that matter, paying thousands of dollars to go rent somebody else's shore house for a week. A week. Think of that. Now here's you, having talked to Adam Ksebe, our official realtor, have your own shore house. Other people paying you thousands of dollars to rent it. You have somewhere to go of your own with your family and your friends. Delaware beaches. Ksebe out of Long and Foster. He can do it for you. If you've been too frustrated with the market, if you haven't known, what could I rent it for, Or if you're too stuck on the Jersey beaches, which shame on you, because Delaware way better. I think it's a better hang. We could debate that. It's a good hang, but also property taxes in Delaware are some of the lowest in the country. Jersey Shore, the highest. So if you're thinking of buying a place, Delaware, better option. Ksebe is the guy that can do it. I've said that maybe you've been frustrated because there's 100 bids on every single house. But when you have a great realtor like Adam Ksebe, he can know about these places maybe before they're on sale. He can help you bid on them. He knows what a good street is, what a bad street is, which part of town you want to be in Bethany, which part of town you want to be in Lewis. This is the guy. And if you're looking for a realtor outside of Delaware or Maryland, okay, Ksebe can't do it himself, but what he can do is be your first resource. He can be your first call. You call Ksebe, you tell him what you're looking to do. He goes through his giant Rolodex of realtors. He interviews people. He finds the right person for you. When it's time, I want you to reach out directly to Ksebe. Here's his cell number. We give out everybody's cell number. This is what the Rickies like. 302-864-8643. That's 302-864-8643. Or just text Mike no, I'm just kidding. Or email adam@processrealtor.com. That is adam@processrealtor.com. So media day was yesterday, and I had hoped and prayed and really, really wanted for the Sixers to give some sort of clarity on Joel Embiid's health. We didn't get it.
You didn't think so?
No.
Okay.
We did get some clarity on Kyle Lowry's health. Here's what Kyle Lowry looks like. Not really in game shape.
That's how he always looks. He's also slumped over in his seat. That's
Look how tight his jersey is, man. It looks like he's wearing his son's jersey or something. Like it's a Halloween costume. What the fuck are we doing?
That's
also,
fair.
We'll get to Kyle Lowry's other job, by the way, which is great. Glad he has another job because at least that means maybe he's not going to play all that much. So here is the opening question and answer from Joel Embiid about his health and where he is.
How are you feeling, and when are you going to be playing? Whether you're going to play in training camp or start for the season, what's going on with your health?
feel pretty good. I think we made a lot of progress over the last couple of months. We got a plan in place, trying to check all the boxes. So, just taking it day by day. This is still, kind of like a fill period where we just, taking it day by day, keep getting stronger, keep getting better. There's been a few core sessions, so everything is on schedule. So, but I think with the team, following whatever we have planned, I think there's not necessarily an expectation. It's more about making sure everything is right and doing everything right, and and then go from there.
So he was pressed a little bit on the, that we've seen him playing, on social media and things of that nature. And here's what he said about, I guess, where he is and what he's actually doing.
Hey, Joe. I guess the team has kind of posted pictures and videos of you in the gym over the last couple of weeks. What exactly have you been able to do? Have you been able to get in some drills, some live action or anything like that recently?
I've done a few stuff. Just going, like I said, taking it day by day. Obviously the goal is, to play consistently and, not be in the position that, we were last year. So whatever that brings me there and whatever the plan is, I think, the focus is on, just, checking all those boxes.
So nothing's really going to matter. What's really going to matter is whether he plays or he doesn't play, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's that hard to not avoid a normal answer as to what are you doing right now. And they keep saying there's a plan, which is what Daryl said later. I think it would be fair to say, if this were a month before training camp or 2 months before training camp and him saying he's on track is fine. Training camp starts today. Mm-hmm. Today, Saturday. They leave for Abu Dhabi, and that, having some sort of idea as to where he is, you can say there's a plan. And by the way, you can also couch it with, hey, look, these things change and here's what we're hoping. But it's not that hard to answer the question. Are you playing basketball? Are you not playing basketball? Do you hope to be ready to play in camp? Do you not hope to be ready to play in camp? And just to say you're taking everything day by day, so do we. We all take everything day by day, but we also give answers. If this hadn't been after last year and we were just going through the normal Joel bullshit that we go through every year, fine. But last year was so destructive and I'm empathetic, by the way, to Joel's difficulty, how stressful this must be for him. I do. I have empathy there. But I also have empathy for everybody who dealt with that season last year. And I think they're just owed, and they've been so mum to this point. This is the first time we've really had an answer. Yeah. I think people are just owed an answer. What's going on right now? How, specifically? And his mood seems better, which is good. I'm optimistic in that way. But I really don't think it's unfair to ask them to give some specificity as to where he is right now and where he hopes to be and when he hopes to be there.
I think that's fair. Everyone in the organization, players, coach, management, ownership, is rocked by last year. I don't think that they ever thought that things could get as bad as it got last year. Mm-hmm. Every single thing went wrong. And with the Joel part, and I think that's coloring every element of the team, of how cagey they are about Joel's health, of what they're deciding about with Grimes, even the Paul George stuff. I think everybody is just last year was really bad. We all feel really, really bad about it. Everybody was frustrated, depressed, pissed off. Nurse talked about it. Everybody said a version of that. Maxey's never lost before, and it was hard. I was hard on everybody. But for the Joel thing, I just think that they, with every year of his career, he'd gotten injured, right? Pretty much every year he'd be dealing with some
every year
borderline catastrophic injury that he would bounce back from. and play some and look good and then get hurt again, all that stuff. Last year was the first time that he didn't look good. He looked awful.
At any point.
He at no point in the season looked like himself. And I think this is a real startling wake-up call to, hey, not only like the stuff in the past where I was frustrated, like, God, it happens every year in the playoffs. I break my face, I hurt my back, I break my foot, whatever. Those kinds of things. My knee swells up, all that stuff. But he always looked like himself. And this is the first time he didn't. And so I think that really fucked with him. And I think the Sixers and Joel are basically just going, let's not overpromise, because of how contentious things were between the two of them, because they were disagreeing. Lisa Salter's interview, Joel on ESPN saying he's going to get the surgery, all that stuff. So I think this is all, I understand wanting, I mean, I would love for him to say the things that you're saying of just like, he's always just been cagey about that. And the Sixers have to go like, well, we were kind of pushing him last year. We were kind of saying like he should play. He's going to only work through this stuff if he plays. And I think now the Sixers are like, we're not depending on him anymore. Maybe they're not saying this publicly, but like, we're not depending on him anymore. We're not operating as if like he's the single cornerstone of the team for the next 5 years. They know the chances of him not returning to form. But I think they are going like, well, Joel's just going to do what Joel does, and we have to like let him take the lead of his health. And the way he wants to say it is to say day by day and go from there.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor it. I like all you said is true. I just
I don't disagree with anything you're saying either.
Yeah. And really at the end of the day, it's just like if he plays, great. If he doesn't play, not great. And it's really all going to be colored at that point. I'm just coming off of last year. Whatever. I thought you would enjoy this. We've had some hints that Joel is a Phillies fan. Mm-hmm. He confirmed that he's not only a Phillies fan, he seems like a real baseball head in general. Mm-hmm. And he's like you, also a Dodgers fan on some level. So here is Joel on the Phillies with NBC Sports Philly.
Before we let you go, I got to ask you about the Phillies. I know you love baseball. Yeah. I know you've been down there. Yeah. How much Red October are you going to try to hit up?
I watch every single game.
I know you do.
Every single game. I watch every single baseball game. Phillies, Dodgers, I don't miss a game. Watch every single game.
That was a good series.
Yeah, they've been playing
See,
well.
Folks, he's locked in.
Yeah, so I've been watching. It's going to be a fun race, especially for the wild card. And then, but the Phillies, unfortunately, Zach,
Yeah, that was
Zach.
Tough.
Yeah, he got hurt. I wish him the best, but other guys have stepped up. So
Kyle Schwarber.
Just need to, Kyle has been Schwarbombs. He's been amazing. So now I think the only thing that's just need to make sure the offense doesn't get cold, as much as it. But they've been on the run lately.
It's been a lot of fun to watch.
They've been scoring a lot of runs. They've been consistent, which is.
Before we let you go,
look at that.
If Joel wants to come on the pod, just talk about the Phils. We'd be happy to do that.
He does. That's a legit like. He's like, okay, I'm publicly talking about them. I'm being excited. And he's like, but they can't get cold.
Yeah,
he's very close to being like, can't swing at that fucking slider low and away. But lay off that shit.
Last Joel thing before we get to Maxey and the rest of the guys. Here is Joel on newest Sixer VJ Edgecombe.
I like him a lot. Obviously, I've talked to him a lot. And, even before, even as soon as we drafted him, I just knew I would like him. I like his background. Kind of reminds me of myself, coming from another country and, having a lot of hardships growing up. And he's an amazing kid so far. I like him a lot.
I love this so far. That is a guy who doesn't trust anybody, by the way.
That's so funny.
Yeah. VJ Edgecombe has given him absolutely no reason to not trust him in any way. Just throwing the so far at the end.
Yeah.
It is perfect. We'll get to Maxey right after we talk about somebody else who's perfect. LL Pavorsky. Wouldn't change him at all. Would you? Would you change LL in any way?
No.
I'd make more of them. That's the only thing I'd do. Unfortunately, there's only one LL Pavorsky. If you're going to get engaged, you have to go to LL Pavorsky for your ring. boy, closing in on 500 Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners have purchased engagement rings from LL Pavorsky. We're over 450. I know that. Everybody's thrilled. When we meet people in person, when I meet people in person, which I do because I'm in the Philly area who are LL people, they all give me their number. Hey, I'm number 226. Hey, I'm 187. I love that. LL is just different than any other jeweler you're going to go to because he cares about the people in our community. He's going to make sure that the experience isn't stressful for you. None of that stuff. That's why he doesn't want people just walking in. That's why he makes appointments. He also doesn't want to waste your time. By making an appointment with an LL, you can talk about what your price range is, what you're looking for, and that way when you end up going to the store, or you can even do it virtually if you want, but when you go to the store at 707 Walnut, he has everything ready for you. And whether it is don't think that you need to be buying some, super expensive ring to get treated great by LL, because it's not how it works. Everybody gets treated great by LL. So proud that he's our first sponsor, and so happy that so many people are now in love with rings purchased from LL because they listen to the Ricky. That's really right. Fucking crazy. He is a supporter of our causes, which are Mama T's Community Fridge and Providence Animal Center right now. And you can, if you want to make an appointment, you send him an email, lee@llpavorsky.com, or just call the shop, which has been there for over 3 decades, 215-627-2252. LL Pavorsky Jewelers.
The only files he's in is the drawer where you keep your marriage license and ring insurance.
So far as we know.
So far
as we know. So this was, of all the clips from yesterday, this was from Media Day. This was my favorite one. It should be the favorite one, I think, for anybody who's a Sixers fan who has some optimism about the future in a Joel or non-Joel world. And that is, just real quick on Maxey before we play the clip. You can have some sort of, I think, a range of opinions that you can have about him and his peak as a player and what he can mean to a specific team but what you cannot have is, I think, any sort of differing opinion on him as a culture guy and a person, as far as we know, which all seem to be incredibly positive. So,
which I feel about McCain and Edgecombe as well.
Yes, 100, based on what we know so far on those, we just have it's incredible. We have 5 years of Tyrese Maxey at this point, which is pretty crazy to think about. So here is Maxey on leadership and what he expects out of the team this year.
I think the biggest thing that I'm trying to accomplish is we need a standard. This is who we are every single day, no matter who plays, no matter who doesn't play. When you see Philadelphia 76ers, this is what you see. You're going to see that team every single night. Every single time you turn the TV on, every single time you step foot in whatever arena that we're playing in, this is the team that you're going to get. And this is the type of culture you're going to get. They're going to do this thing. They're going to do a certain thing a certain way every single night. I think that's the biggest thing. And then just building a camaraderie and a brotherhood off the court, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to do this summer. Justin was in Dallas a little bit, came to my house. You know what I'm saying? VJ, a couple guys are going to come to my house soon. You know what I'm saying? A couple out here. So it's just that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to build. If you have that friendship and a relationship off the court, I think when you get on the court, I've even started playing video games with the VJs, the Justins, and you know what I'm saying? So it's I think that's going to help us a lot.
What a massive asset it is to have somebody who is like that in the Sixers. And as great as a player, this isn't to speak negatively of Joel, but as great a player as he is, he's never been that guy. Never.
No, he's never
not at one point,
Yeah, I think the thing that has been partly troublesome about the Sixers, maybe it ultimately wouldn't matter because if Joel wasn't healthy, he wasn't healthy. But the times when Joel when he was there, when he wasn't there, the team's identity was just Joel. You can look at the Thunder, you can look at the Pacers, you can look at the Knicks, previous teams in the past that played a certain way, Houston right now, that play a certain way, that are oh, this team's going to run on you all the time. They are going to be more energetic, athletic than you. Or this team is going to pound the shit out of you in around the rim. Or they're going to just be relentless on the offensive glass, or whatever it is. And the Sixers have just never had that. Yeah. They've never been a team and part of this is Joel's fault, part of it's the rest of them, where they like had a real strong identity of what they do. And I think people would say, Maxey was kind of alluding to like when Joel's off the court, but I would say when Joel's on the court. Yes. I would say it's both.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's to look at guys, superstars are the thing that matters the most and win you championships and stuff. But it's not a binary thing with the Sixers, and it hasn't been, because Joel has not missed 82 games since his first 2 years, and he has never played 82 games. So there's going to be times when you just need other guys to step up. And if there is that kind of connectivity and culture, you can say, if you're going to do Miami style, or just like play style, like integrity, like I want them to have that all the time, so that when Joel misses 20, 30, 40 games, they can survive much better than they ever have in the past. And Maxey is trying to do that. I think letting Yabusele walk was a mistake, especially if you were planning on not signing Grimes, because I think Yabusele is the kind of player that instills that as well, and would be contributing to that. And I think all of that matters.
Well, it was so obvious last year how much it matters, right?
Yeah.
It was so obvious, and it's on Maxey, it's also on Nick Nurse, and anybody who's going to be part of that leadership is we can't feel sorry for ourselves. Like the Sixers have to be the Sixers and doesn't mean you have to play the exact same style all the time, but you have to bring the same sort of energy. Like, everybody needs accountability to being that. But having one of your best players setting that, I think, is more important than even having the coach setting that.
For sure. And I think it's great. And nobody thinks Maxey is going to turn to a top 3 player in the league or anything, but he's really, really helpful, and it's great that he is the vocal leader of this team. And in a world where PG and Embiid miss a lot of time, a Maxey, Grimes, McCain, etc. type team should still be able to win a lot of games without them. And so when they're there, it should be elevating that rather than just kind of messy and uncomfortable and void like.
Yeah.
Across
Everybody
the board,
mad at each other,
Yeah.
This was Tyrese on VJ Edgecombe.
VJ is a special talent. I think one of his talents that a lot of players don't really use is like how hard he plays, like on both ends of the floor, whether that's offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, guarding the ball, playing in transition. Those things are like things that like little things that a lot of people don't do. So I think he's going to be really good at that. He likes to learn. He wants to get better. The sky's the limit for him. I actually spent a lot of time with him now that I'm thinking about it. Had a couple. What's up, man? How you doing, Drum? Did a couple workouts here, probably in I think August. Took them to like Disneyland in LA. That was fun. VJ is a special talent.
VJ Edgecombe later said, if we get to it, that he made him wear a goofy hat.
I love it.
When he was at.
I love it. I love that shit.
You got to make him wear mouse ears, man. You got to make him wear mouse ears if you're going there. Paul George, I don't have any clips on George. Here is Paul George per Sixers Adam on his knee. I think I'm getting better and better, feeling stronger and stronger. The next couple of weeks is very important heading into the season. All I can do is focus on that day after day. I do think I will be at a good place, hopefully sooner rather than later. So,
and then I think the next line what you have here is one of the toughest seasons I've been a part of, both from team and individual standpoints, talking about last year. Can't get no worse than last year. That was a rock bottom kind of season.
Don't say that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's how everybody. I do think that's how everybody feels. Like across the board, everybody last year was the. And there's something galvanizing about that. There should be something galvanizing about like, man, that fucking sucked. Let's not do it again. So play with a kind of out to prove something this year, and let that be like an us against the world type of thing, because it did suck. And yeah, the comment on Edgecombe, he plays hard as hell, and that's really, really cool for a guy that's this athletic.
Yep.
And he was he didn't seem to love. We talked about it after in some quotes, I think around Summer League, but Edgecombe didn't seem to love his experience at Baylor. He didn't love the way that college basketball was. He was definitely like
he hated college basketball. There's not enough space for him to play. Yeah.
He was definitely like just filling a role type of thing. But, you know, he shot 39% in conference play, even as he like was kind of stuck in a sort of role. He got to the line 5 times a game. He shot well from the line. Like he popped as a role player and then started doing more stuff in Summer League that showed like what else he was capable of, sort of like Bahama national team. So I'm really, really excited to watch Edgecombe. I think he's going to be able to do the, even as he deals with some like, you know, rookie speed of the game stuff. I'm sure he'll get like stuck in midair sometimes when he doesn't know where to go with it. But I think he's going to do the role player stuff, and then we'll see flashes of like, holy hell, if that's real, if that's the guy that he can become on a consistent level, then I think like it should be really fun to watch. And that's kind of all you can hold on to. And if he fucking gets hurt, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
Well, it's just
don't do it. Just leave it. Just let him play let one rookie play the entire fucking year.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Here is Paul George on playing the 4. He said, this is again per Sixers, Adam. If you asked me about this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been a fan of it. But today's game, there's not real 4s like there used to be. So, and at this point in my career, we can let the young guys go out and play the wing positions. We got great defenders in Kelly Oubre, VJ Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
I know where I'm at in my career. I can adjust and play at the 4 spot, give extra ball handling on the floor and better spacing. So I'm very comfortable playing the 4 spot this year with kind of being a point forward type style in Knicks offense.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody's healthy, there's a lot of interesting wrinkles that they can put in there. I wouldn't mind PG at the 4, especially in like Bona or Drummond lineups when you have a little bit more defensive rebounding, and because Joel has his defensive rebounding has gone down most years of his career. But my concern is on that level. But as far as defending 4s goes, like PG can do that. And if he can have a smaller defender on him or a bigger defender on him that now he can maybe get a step on, I think that's helpful. I don't think he's overpowering little dudes ever, and they can keep up with him. So if he has like, I don't know, like if he's getting covered by Julius Randle, I think I'm more comfortable with that than if he's getting covered by like Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yes. Yeah. And having a 4 that is a great spot up shooter, because it a lot of times is the 4 that ends up with a corner 3, right? Yeah. Like it's really that guy. Yeah. Here is a VJ on the goofy hat.
First, very serious question for you. Tyrese Maxey revealed that you guys went to Disneyland this summer. I'd like to know how that was.
Yeah, Reese took us out, made me wear like some goofy hat. Had no choice, but overall it was great. Get to know him, great person overall. So yeah, we enjoyed it.
Hey, buddy. Lovely.
Do you sort of notice that VJ Edgecombe looks and sounds like CJ? Put it up there again.
I see a little bit.
Yeah, put it up there again. And just what I want you to do is imagine if CJ was saying this exact thing, what he would look and sound like. Just look. This is, play it for a sec, CJ.
First, very serious question for you. Tyrese Maxey revealed that you guys went to Disneyland this summer. I'd like to know how that was.
Yep.
Beautiful smile.
Yeah, Reese took us out, made me wear like some goofy hat. Had no choice.
I'm telling you,
had no choice really does sound like
it.
No, I see
great person overall.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there it is.
We enjoyed it.
I see it.
There it is. CJ
Edgecombe.
It's CJ Edgecombe.
He's incredibly handsome.
He is.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Slow down. Just 2 more things I wanted to get to. One, just a great Kelly Oubre thing. The Kyle Lowry thing we didn't get to mention. This is from a press release. Or no, this is from USA Today. Kyle Lowry is joining a new team without leaving his current team. Prime Video announced Thursday that it has hired Lowry, the Philadelphia 76ers guard, who is about to enter what will be the 20th season of his career, as an NBA Prime analyst. It's a multi-year deal with Lowry making, quote, select appearances this season, Prime said, adding that he will have increased responsibilities in the future. NBA Prime's coverage of the league starts on October 24th with a doubleheader, Boston at New York, followed by Minnesota at the Lakers. Lowry is expected to have some role that night. The 76ers do not have a game that evening. Like, people pointed out that Draymond did this. I don't think it's cool that Draymond does it either. Like you're already wasting a roster spot. Why? It's so fucking silly. The entire thing is so silly, isn't it? Am I crazy?
Yeah. I
Okay.
hope he has a bigger role at Amazon than he does
Yes.
on the Sixers.
With the Sixers.
But yeah, I do think it's silly when current players are doing that. Maybe in the playoffs, if a player is
eliminated,
out of the playoffs, and you can go like, oh, this is a current perspective, whatever. But I wonder if he'd be good at it. Like, it'd be cool if Lowry was good at this.
Yes.
I just would have loved to find that out if he was not currently an active member of the Sixers.
Yeah, why do you need to? Just make him a coach. Here is Kelly Oubre, who showed up with red hair as for this season for the Sixers on his red hair.
So Kelly, then the red hair is a new look. What inspired that?
My hair's red? Oh, no, I didn't even know. No, but I just wanted to change it up. Just wanted to, just bring that fire that's inside of me outside a little bit so that you guys feel me when you see me play. And then, I don't know, it's a different level of steez unlocked,
Anyway, here's a great line about the difference between on the court and off the court. CJ, do you have that one?
The court water one?
Yeah.
That was deleted. That
it's
He
gone.
deleted it.
Yeah. He said on the court fire, off the court water.
I think
He's
he's
the
such
greatest.
a special guy. I think McCain and Oubre are going to really make some interesting conversations together. I think.
Oh yeah. I love Oubre. And
Very funny.
here is last thing. Here is him on. We talked about that Instagram post where he was sort of mad at. He wasn't feeling the love, and it was some fan post or whatever. Here's what Oubre said about it.
So, just what prompted you to do that, and just how do you feel now about being here, being on this team, Philly, just heading into this season?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to apologize for the things that I say because nobody's going to do the same to me. But at the end of the day, it was just an accumulation of lack thereof discussion or kind of Xing me out of the equation. And, I'm here. I'm all in. I wear this jersey for a reason. It's because I want to. So therefore, it was just kind of like the fan pages and all the people who represent the Sixers, not in this building, of course. It was just something to just let you guys know that I'm still here. And I'm not here to fit in. I'm here to stand out and, help this team the best that I possibly can. So it was just, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to growing and continue to helping everybody else grow and develop and just being the best version of myself for this team and this organization and this city. So, I'm here.
I would love to take Kelly's phone away from him, and because I could imagine it driving you crazy scrolling the getting fed the Instagram pages of people saying that you're not that good.
Well, it's just got to be curated.
Yeah,
you just got to curate a little bit
but
more,
you
man.
can't,
It's just
it knows what you look at.
You got to hand it to an assistant. And be like, who are the people in the city that matter that talk about the team, and whether that's us or not.
Yeah,
I've always been very supportive of Kelly.
Yeah,
and just other people that are like not random, bot adjacent fan pages.
Yes.
That are just making up like
Sixers
pictures.
with a Z, Sixers time or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just he's a really nice role player. He plays his ass off. I do think a little bit. I was thinking this as he was talking. He's kind of like the Sixers Castellanos.
Oh, yeah. But less of it.
Less of a dick and
definitely
more effort all the time.
Yes.
But a little bit.
Well, he's like Bader.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's like Bader. I think he's got more Bader energy than he has Castellanos energy, actually.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think it's just a little bit more like the on court, on field Kelly. Like sometimes we'll do dumb shit.
Yes.
And you're a little bit like, come on, man, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah.
But I do love him. I do love Kelly, and I do think Nick should be left off the playoff roster.
Nick. Castellanos. Oh, well, they're not leaving him off the playoff.
I know, but I think they should. I think it'd be better if he wasn't there.
Big hit the other night, man. He said 2 big hits in the last.
Big hit.
He did. He had a big hit.
Nick's big hit. Wow. That undoes him being the worst hitter in baseball for a whole year.
Let me ask you this. Who would you rather have up in
Wes Wilson.
No.
Otto Kemp. Wes Wilson. Anybody.
Max Kepler.
Sosa.
Max Kepler or Nick Castellanos in a big spot.
Oh, against the righty? Absolutely Kepler.
Castellanos
Not close. Kepler 100%.
Every time.
100%. Kepler will give you a good at bat. He'll hit the ball hard. Nick's out there closing his eyes, swinging.
It's amazing. Max Kepler's hit 210 this year. Everybody remembers only the times he hit the ball hard.
He's been better than Castellanos.
Unbelievable. He's a better fielder than Castellanos.
Better at, especially against righty. I wouldn't.
I can't believe people have made me pro Castellanos. It's unbelievable.
He's awful, and he's a bad team player. He doesn't give a shit. He's not part of the team. Get him out of here. Kelly would never do that.
The Darryl stuff, I really just don't even think matters to play, to be quite honest with you. We can if you want. It's just it's more on him and the doctors and blah, 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 blah.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Well, I think, but look, it's media day. Everybody is doing the best shape of their life thing.
Yep.
I think I've said this a couple times last season. An under-discussed part of last season of why it was one of the lesser reasons why it was so bad is how bad Andre Drummond was.
Oh, he's horrible.
And that shouldn't be the case this year. I saw there was a quote that he was doing big toe yoga, so yes. I'm happy about that. I hope that it helps.
He also mentioned in their 5-on-5 runs there were no fouls called.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, which he said is going to make the team tougher.
I like that. I like that idea.
I want to remind Adem Bona, they do call fouls in the games.
They do. Yes. They definitely do. I like some Trendon Watford quotes. Nick and Darryl talking about how they've been trying to get him for a few years.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Trendon Watford.
I'm trying not to get too excited about you can optimize what a player's skill set into unrealistic expectations. I feel like Watford is the guy I could do that to if I don't protect myself.
Sure, yeah. Justin Edwards changes his number.
Yes.
He's number 11 now.
11. What do you think of an 11?
I like it. I think he'll look good in it.
Yeah.
But it's media. I mean, if it was just the McCain thing or just the Grimes thing or just the Embiid and Paul George stuff, then you could go like, all right, one thing, but all three of those things put a kind of a damper on the whole deal.
If you take away all the bad stuff with 4 of our 5 best players.
All of it. Take it away. Do you think PG is ready for opening night?
No.
Do you think Embiid is?
Yes.
So do I.
Yeah. You would say yes on both? Or?
I would say Embiid plays opening night, PG and McCain do not.
Yes. I feel like they are, as you said, slow playing the Embiid thing, and he's actually probably ahead of where they hoped he would be, and they're trying not to show it. That would be my dipshit Sixers fan take.
And if that's the case, then I would say starting lineup is Maxey, Grimes, Oubre, Watford, Embiid. But there's a chance that Justin Edwards gets in there instead of Oubre or Watford.
Yep.
Just for a solid stand there and shoot.
Before we go, I got a note we mentioned in the last pod about Helen, who was a Ricky listener, and her husband Steve for a long time. Steve had reached out. Helen had an aneurysm last summer and has been in rehab for a year, is going home, and they have a fundraiser so they can help Helen was 32 when the aneurysm happened, a math teacher, and he has been very touched about all the people who have donated. They're trying to get a year's worth of home therapy, which will cost about $65,000. Since the first time we talked about it, it went from 11 to almost 20 now, which is great. We will put the link in the show notes for you to donate. It's kind of neat. It's not GoFundMe. It's a different thing. So you're actually donating to a 501c3, which is cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, which is neat. But want to, again, send our love out to Steve and Helen.
There's the link right there. Good job, CJ.
Oh, wow. Look at that. On the
new StreamYard feature, QR code. Pull up your phones. Donate to Helen.
Well, everybody get them to $20,000 today. I think that would be a great thing. We'll put a link in the show notes as well. But thank you so much to everybody who has donated. And
absolutely.
We actually had 2 people reach out who their partners had aneurysms in the last 5 years, and
that's
offering to give like support and recommendations and stuff to Steve. It always amazes me, and it's always very heartening to me when the community of everyone who's involved in this gets together when somebody needs it. So
yeah. Best wishes to those guys. Please donate if you can.
We will talk to you. Mike, there is a Sixers game on Thursday.
Wow.
At noon on NBA TV, actually. It is.
Okay, well, we'll talk to you after that. Do you think, so by October 1st is Wednesday, so we will know everything about Grimes.
Oh, right.
Your final prediction.
Signs a 3-year deal with a 4-year option.
Team or player?
player.
Okay. For what number?
Average annual value of 14.5.
Okay.
What's your?
I'd be very happy about that, to be
Are
clear.
you predicting the qualifying offer at least to even things out?
No, I genuinely think that that he will play on the qualifying offer, and the Sixers are thinking that that's okay.
Okay. We will see. We'll see soon enough. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you next time. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. You. No lick face.